Tourists are increasingly accusing diving instructors of harassment right during dives. And most importantly, these are far from isolated cases in Egypt. A little later in this video, I'll tell you about a story involving a Russian woman who also accused a diving instructor of sexual harassment. Make sure to watch this video until the end. But first, I want to focus your attention on the most recent case that happened just a few days ago. A tourist from the United States who was vacationing in Egypt publicly accused an instructor of sexual harassment. She even recorded a video in which, according to her, he repeatedly gropes her underwater, and she claims this had absolutely nothing to do with training or safety procedures. The woman, named Rasha, 31 years old. Quite an unusual name. Not bad, right? I got curious and looked it up. The name has Arabic roots, so the woman is also Muslim, and the name is most commonly found in Egypt. She explained that she was traveling alone in Egypt and signed up for the first day of a diving course, which, by the way, cost 350 euros. This happened in March 2026. She said she met the instructor, who initially avoided hugging her because it was Ramadan and because she herself was Muslim. However, the woman claims that underwater, the instructor constantly touched her buttocks, which made her feel extremely uncomfortable, and she classified it as harassment. The recorded footage shows them swimming while holding hands, after which the instructor turns toward her, hugs her, and apparently places his hand on her buttocks and then on her leg. While Rasha tries to push him away, the instructor grabs her legs again, which looks like an attempt to prevent her from swimming away. The woman said that afterward, the instructor supposedly apologized and even offered to escort her home after they got back to shore, but she refused and returned to her hotel. She later wrote the following post on her social media: "When you are underwater, there is a huge power imbalance. The instructor controls the dive, and many people feel they must stay silent or go along with what is happening. You do not have to tolerate anything that makes you uncomfortable. You have the right to push someone away. You have the right to remove their hands. And you have the right to end the dive." She also wrote, "Your safety underwater includes your personal boundaries. I am sharing this because many people begin diving during solo trips and may not understand what is normal and what is not. Professional dive training should always be respectful, professional, and focused on education and safety. If something feels wrong, trust your instincts." And she continued, "For everyone planning to dive in Hurghada in Egypt, please carefully research dive centers. There are many truly professional operators here, and the experience should be safe and organized." It should be noted that the dive center responded to the statement because the post gained literally millions of views and caused a serious public reaction, which is exactly why I'm making this video. The publication also received tens of thousands of likes. The diving center asked for the instructor's contact details so the alleged victim could communicate directly with them. However, the instructor himself denied everything that happened. There are also some rather ironic comments online where people write that if such things did not happen, meaning harassment from instructors, for example in India, then that would actually seem stranger than normal. And indeed, even some instructors admit that beginner diving instructors sometimes allow themselves to behave this way, because, as many people assume, men from India are stereotypically expected to show excessive intimate attention toward the opposite sex. But I also promised to tell you about the case involving the Russian tourist, which also caused public outrage. A Russian tourist was allegedly subjected to harassment by a diving instructor during training. And there was even a witness to what happened, a diver photographer from another boat, a man named Mohammed Hani, who made the situation public on social media and also documented it. According to him, the incident took place in the Red Sea near Sharm el-Sheikh, where he saw the suspect openly groping the tourist during the lesson. The diver said that at that moment he was on board another tourist boat and witnessed the instructor's sexual behavior toward the tourist, who later turned out to be Russian. He even took photographs in which, according to him, it was visible that the woman resisted the harassment, kicked, and actively tried to push the instructor away. Eventually, when the woman came out of the water, she asked for help and requested protection from the allegedly predatory instructor. The photographer told the instructor about the photos and stated that he would report the incident to the authorities. The problem lies in Egyptian culture, where incidents like this are considered normal when it comes to foreign women. Foreigners are people just like us. They are not sexually obsessed people, the photographer also wrote on social media. And there's an ironic detail here as well. Foreigners are people like us. They are not sexually obsessed, he writes. Meaning Egyptians are supposedly not sexually obsessed either. But honestly, judging by what I personally observe at Egyptian resorts, I would say those two lines actually intersect perfectly. In my opinion, they absolutely are obsessed. I have personally heard many stories and seen plenty of situations in Sharm where, frankly speaking, things become quite absurd. Sometimes a woman may call over a gardener she has never even met before, just some Egyptian village worker earning maybe $50 a month. So honestly, I don't know, friends. I really don't know. But it is worth mentioning that, according to certain rankings, Egypt is considered one of the least safe tourist destinations in the world for solo female travelers. And not only foreign women suffer, Egyptian women themselves also face these problems. For example, there was a scandal involving a video on the former Twitter platform showing around 10 men sexually harassing 3 Egyptian women on one of the country's streets. The women were wearing hijabs, and yet none of the bystanders rushed to defend them. Another incident that also surfaced on social media ended less peacefully for the offender. A bus driver who harassed a lone female passenger was detained by passersby who came to help her. As reported online, they publicly shamed him and held him until the police arrived. I should note that sexual harassment in Egypt is, of course, a criminal offense punishable by law. If a woman brings the offender to court and he is convicted, he faces at least 6 months in prison. And if the crime is found to be repeated, the punishment can reach up to 5 years of imprisonment. According to a report published by the United Nations in 2013, an astonishing 99% of Egyptian women reported experiencing harassment. Just imagine practically all women. 49% of respondents said they experienced harassment daily. Most attacks occurred on streets and in public transportation. These places were considered even more dangerous than beaches or deserted areas. In 2014, amendments were introduced into Egypt's criminal code for the first time, establishing criminal liability for sexual harassment. Thank you for watching this video. Leave a like and comment, it really helps the video. We still have many more travel news stories and analyses ahead, primarily about Egypt and Turkey, but also other destinations. Goodbye everyone, and see you next time. Subscribe to my channel, Walk Like a Traveler.